Good morning and welcome to HCCTV Up to the Minute. I'm Randee Ramsey, Executive Director of Southwest Alternate Media Project, in for Todd Duplantis today, and it is Friday the 13th, June 13th. I wonder if that's why Todd isn't with us this morning. Who knows what happens on crazy days like today? So I don't know whether to welcome you or warn you, but I will welcome my co-host, Jake Crowley, HCC Production Specialist, who is with us today, and he's going to tell us how you can tell everyone how to find us online.
Hi, Randy. Thank you. Yes, we are live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC, and YouTube. We're also on X, LinkedIn, and HCC TV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
And it is Film Friday here at Up to the Minute, and we're devoting the entire show to HCC faculty members who are making films, developing young filmmakers. And later in the show, Jake will spend some time talking with me about SWAMP's upcoming Young Filmmaker Bootcamp. But in the meanwhile, and first, and always first, it's Jenny Waldo, HCC Filmmaking Program Coordinator, independent filmmaker, and all around genius artist. Welcome back to the show, Jenny. It's great to have you.
Thanks for having me, Randy. I love being here.
Well, we love having you, and you know how much I always learn from you. So, let's talk first about your new project. Well, actually, let's talk first about TWOFER, which was recently premiered at the Houston Latino Film Festival.
Yeah, it's a new short film that I directed, and it's a bit of a stretch project for me. So, I'm always learning and growing as a filmmaker as well. And I usually don't write anything in the horror or thriller genre. And I had a writer approach me with a thriller short that she was looking for a director, and I was like, sure, let's try this, because I'd love to work as a director for other things that I haven't written, and so I thought it would be a good experiment, and it was a lot of fun. We had about 10 students come and get internship hours on the project, and we shot it back in March of last year, and then pickups in June. And yeah, we just premiered at the Houston Latino Film Festival. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, and it was also supported by an Houston Arts Alliance grant and the Mayor's Office of Cultural Affairs. And
Thank you. Yes, yes.
we all know how good you are at the fundraising part of filmmaking, which for the rest of us is terrifying and a suspense movie of itself. But can you just talk a little bit about how important those grants are for individual artists?
Yes, the Houston Arts Alliance grant is one of the best grants for filmmakers and artists in the city of Houston. And they have big grants like the $15,000 support for artists and creative individuals, which I've gotten for TWOFER, as well as previously for what was originally titled Martha's Mustang for a table read. And then they have smaller grants called, I think, Let's Get Creative, which I believe, Randy, you just got one for your project, which you'll be talking about later.
I did. I don't think that's on our agenda to talk about, but I did. I got
Okay.
a Let Creativity Happen grant, which is just $2,500. And I also had 16 HCC students, TSU and Lamar students, and we introduced them to professional sets. So I think it's a great model, and I'm hoping we'll see more of that at HCC. But
Yeah,
talk to
no,
me about the
having these
Latino.
nonprofits are great.
I think it's super important. But talk to me about the Latino Film Fest, because normally I'm there and I didn't make it this year. And it's always such a great event.
It's a wonderful festival. They grow every year. It gets better every year. It's always great. It happens around March, and kind of around the same time that South by happens in Austin. But I think the programming that they do for the films that they choose at Houston Latino Film Festival is just always incredible high quality. And then they have amazing speakers come and do workshops and talk about their journeys. And I think it's just great all around for anybody, but is also just obviously a wonderful showcase for Latino and Latina filmmakers out there.
Sorry, technical glitch. For some reason, my speaker wasn't working.
I don't know.
I I know. And I will tell you, Dave Sobrero and the guys that run the festival are really amazing. They're right on the pulse of what's happening now. They're so invested in the Houston community. So I always look forward to it. And I was so sad to miss it. Darn these kids, they ruin your life. Um, they do.
Well, that's how I feel
But
about Houston Media Conference because my youngest is moving into college that weekend. So I won't be able to make it this year,
I
which I'm
know, and we're going to
very
miss you
upset
so
about.
much because we always count on you to be there because you always bring such great insights. But that's okay. It'll happen again next year. And you can come and do a panel on Martha's Mustang, which is
Right.
not Martha's Mustang anymore. So
No.
your current project, which I'm super excited about, has been renamed.
Yes.
So like bring us back for people who haven't heard of it. Tell us what it's about.
Yeah, so it's now called Mustang Martha, which was a suggestion to make it a little bit more rock and roll, like, Mustang Sally, and also to have this focus more on Martha as opposed to it being about the Mustang. It's now Mustang Martha, so it's more really just about her and how this character in Baytown. But it is based on a true story from 1994 about a woman in Baytown who owned an auto body shop, and she got in trouble with the city over an old Mustang that she turned into a hot pink flower planter, and the city said it was a violation of the junk car ordinance. So she sued the city, and it divided Baytown. People still remember it, and it made national news. And I have been developing a film for a long time now, and we've had a number of accolades. And like I mentioned, a table read that was sponsored by the Houston Arts Alliance and featured at the Houston Cinema Arts Festival. And now we are doing a staged reading in partnership with the Baytown Little Theater at the end of June, on June 28th. And this will be our first real fundraising event. We are fiscally sponsored by From the Heart Productions, which is a nonprofit that supports filmmakers. And they're how I financed my first feature, Acid Test. And it's a different way of thinking about the film funding model. And as somebody, I started out in documentary. Fiscal sponsorship is something that is very common in documentaries, and both Acid Test and Mustang Martha are based on true stories. And so there's a lot of kind of intersection or overlap. And so I really think fiscal sponsorship is a great way to approach tackling the financing question because it is so hard and the industry is struggling. So I'm excited. We're going to have like a VIP fundraising, a silent auction, cocktail hour before the staged reading. So we'll have actors kind of coming on and off the stage. So it'll be a little bit more dynamic than just a table read of the script. And this will be the first time that Baytown will hear the newest, basically the story that I've written, which is fictionalized in many ways. But I'm excited to hear their feedback.
Well, it's always good to fictionalize it to protect both the innocent and the guilty. But you have cast it all entirely out of Baytown Little Theater. So what has that experience been like? And how has it been to work with those folks in Baytown?
Really wonderful, and it's very new. I was telling, we had a wonderful cast of Houston-based actors for our original table read, and now we're casting entirely from Baytown for the staged reading, and then we'll see kind of what develops when we're casting the movie for real. But it's always wonderful to work with different actors, to give actors an opportunity to do something new or bigger, especially theater for film and film for theater. It's very different. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Everybody's really excited. And again, as a community story, it's so important for me to involve the story and make sure that Baytonians are telling their own story or have some kind of agency and obviously authenticity to the story. But I want them to be excited about this project and to engage and want to help tell the story. And so I'm really excited about this partnership. Ryan Sheppy, who's the president of Baytown Little Theater, has just been a complete superhero finding catering donors and alcohol donors, and we've been putting together silent auction items. So it's just exactly what I was hoping for in terms of engaging with the community there. So I'm very excited.
I know I'm hoping to make it down there for that. It should be a really great experience. But
Yeah.
really quick, let me ask you, because I ask every guest, you know me, what are you watching?
Oh man. To be honest, the last thing I watched was Ransom Canyon, which was just kind of like I needed an escape, so I watched this very cheesy romance on Netflix, but yeah.
See, my cheesy escape Netflix one was La Dolce Villa, which
Oh.
is even cheesier. Oh yeah, it's super soothing. It's Italy. It's very
Oh,
pretty to
nice.
look at. There's a lot of pretty
Oh,
people. It's
nice.
just, it doesn't actually take any brain power. It's one of
No, it's
those.
so
I
nice. It's so
After
nice.
watching Adolescence, I was like, I needed like a sorbet for my brain, you know?
Well, before that, I was watching Dying for Sex, and I try and pick shows that I know my husband will want to watch, and I'll walk on the treadmill while I watch them. But Dying for Sex, I was like sobbing and trying to walk on the treadmill. It was a big mess. So, but a great show.
Might I suggest for your treadmill watching something like Love is Blind?
See, I can't
I
do
only
reality
see,
shows. I
here's the thing.
can't.
I hate reality shows with the exception of Amazing Race. Um, but if they're gonna be stupid, I have to at least be on the treadmill, so it's good for my body if I'm running my
Right.
mind.
Right.
That's my
Right.
compromise. I
Yeah.
don't, one of the rugby dads got me addicted to that show, Love is Blind. This
Oh,
big
really?
hulking, like dude was like, you've got to watch it. It's amazing. And then I became somewhat addicted to it. But I will tell you what it's done is it's helped my marriage because it does make me thankful every day that I don't have to date.
Well, that's good.
So
Yes, I feel that.
he didn't empty the dishwasher, but I don't have to go find him. So I'm good. Jenny Waldo, director, filmmaking program coordinator. It's always great to see you. Thanks for being here. And I'm so
Yes,
excited about Mustang Martha.
me too. Thank you so much, Randee.
And after a quick commercial break, Jake will be back and we will talk about our Swamp Filmmaker Bootcamp coming up.
I'm learning healthcare management while providing patient care.
I came back to grow my skills, even after I graduated.
And if I can't make it in person, I take my classes online.
I'm learning healthcare management while providing patient care.
I came back to grow my skills, even after I graduated.
And if I can't make it in person, I take my classes online.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Moving on to Randee Ramsey, Executive Director of Southwest Alternate Media Project and the 2025 Young Filmmakers Bootcamp. Randee, okay, now tell us about the bootcamp, including the dates, the ages of the people in it, and it's 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, this year we've reduced it from 3 weeks a session to 2 weeks a session so we could fit 2 sessions in. The first session begins June 23rd and runs through July 3rd, and that's at Houston Media Source down on the East End. And the second session is July 7th through July 18th, and that is at 6 Foot Media in Montrose. We bring in kids ages 12 to 17. And yeah, it's exciting. We just love teaching them the art of filmmaking.
Well, that's awesome. No, yeah, I was a filmmaker major myself, and it was really fun learning everything about it. So that's why I would like for you to tell us, what are the students going to learn in this boot camp?
So we call it a boot camp for a reason, because we don't want anybody to think that there's going to be like craft time or field trips. These kids come in and they write it, prep it, shoot it, post it. They make the movie. My co-teacher, Julie Newland, has over 30 years experience in the industry. We have visiting teaching artists, including Brian Maratia, who is an HCC film faculty, Stephen Hurst, who is a theater teacher with 25 years experience, and Joe Grisafi, who's a local teacher and actor, Angie Sandoval. So we bring all these professional artists in to mentor these kids in the process. But when I say that they make a film, I mean they make a film. We don't do it for them. They put their hands on the camera. They do everything. We teach them how to be grips, gaffers, ADs, script supervisor. Well, we're not that great at teaching the script supervisor part. Let's just be clear. We could be better. But they do the audio mix and they do all of the edit, post-production, color correction, all of it.
Nice. I like it. Yeah, no, it sounds like you're actually teaching the main part of the film program. So do you think this boot camp is a good stepping stone for young filmmakers to then want to keep it going by entering the filmmaking program at HCC?
Absolutely. And last summer we were at HCC and the summer before, which was a great experience and we loved being there. It just didn't work out this year, but we would love to be back in the future. We have students who are in the HCC program right now who are alumni of the Swamp Young Filmmaker Bootcamp. We also have students at Chapman, Columbia, and one headed to USC in the fall. And they all tell us that the experience they got on set at Swamp was super helpful to them as they started their first year. Upperclassmen think that they're already upperclassmen and all the seniors want them on their projects. So I think it gives them a good grounding in filmmaking, which is, you know, really what we want. But more importantly, it teaches them team communication, how to be a member of a team, because as you know, Jake, team is a film sport. It's not a solo endeavor.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. As you can see, all the credits and movies, how much people are involved in making something happen is really impressive and mind-blowing. So I understand that this boot camp will be held at different venues this year. Tell us about that. Where?
Well, the nice thing about Swamp is that we like to say that we're site agnostic or nomadic. We present programming all over the city, wherever anyone is willing to give us the space and the time. And so this year, like I said, we're not at HCC. We are at Houston Media Source, which is in the process of being reorganized and renewed. And so we're really excited to be part of that process and to bring an art camp to an underserved community. And then we're in Montrose for the second session, which will provide us with great on-site locations. Not much of a studio, but a lot of really good opportunities for shooting outside, location shooting, which is a great challenge for the kids.
Yeah, no,
So
that's
we're excited.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. We're just really excited by the opportunities that things present.
No, yeah, no, as am I talking to you about this. So I actually have a question about the location shooting. So yeah, outdoor shooting can be a great challenge. And do y'all pick these locations for of the boot camps to like go with like great locations outside? Like do y'all
So
actually
we pick the locations for the boot camp based on who has enough space to house us for 2 weeks and who our partners are. But the kids write the script in the first 2 days. So we have no idea what they want to shoot. For example, last year in the studio, we built an entire Old West saloon. So, I mean, you know, we just never know. These kids love a period piece, man. They're trying to kill me.
Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, no, so these kids, so they get their hands on this equipment and you say you teach them all and yet they go on and do all this themselves. Do y'all then continue to supervise them or y'all just watch from the background?
Absolutely. We like to say we mentor them. We'll step in and say, "Is that really the shot you want? Okay, go ahead." And then when they go into edit and say, "Wow, this doesn't cut together," we go, "Oh, yeah. What did we learn from that?" Because at the end of the day, this is a low risk environment for them. They haven't spent $10,000 of their own money. We're using a Sony Venice Cam with a Rialto. We've got Dana Dolly. We've got professional gear for them. And it's just an opportunity for them to learn in an environment that simulates a professional set. So, you know, we want them to really take risks. And sometimes they're going to fail, and that's great. You learn so much from that.
No, yeah, it sounds like this boot camp is a really great space to fail and learn from it, as you just said, and with no pressure. Like you don't have to do anything by a certain deadline. You don't have to get an A on it. You just kind of have to learn and see what you're good at and what you're not great at. So no, I really like it.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to try every position, decide what's right for you. And there is a deadline. We do have to have a movie at the end of the 2 weeks. And we do. It's not perfect, but it's there. And it's, you know what? It's pretty good stuff. I'm also excited that we're hoping that this film this year will be able to play at the River Oaks Theater because Swamp hosts a monthly filmmaker showcase every month. This month on June 18th at the River Oaks at 7, Gordon Williams, one of our board members and a professor from Lamar University, will be hosting, and he has programmed it. We work with a different partner every month to program it so that we get the greatest reach and diversity that reflects our giant Houston community, which, as you know, the most diverse city in America and has so much to offer. So, Jake, I haven't seen you down at the River Oaks showcase yet. I hope we see you there.
Oh yeah, I know. I can try to make it out there. Yeah, no, thank you for telling me today and everyone watching this. Yeah, so thank you very much for explaining everything about the boot camp. It sounds like a really good idea. And this is Randee Ramsey, Executive Director of Southwest Alternate Media Project and heading up the 2025 Young Filmmakers Bootcamp. We'll have your info in the post after the show. Coming up after a quick commercial break, Randee and I will return with some news and announcements.
I'm learning healthcare management while providing patient care.
I came back to grow my skills, even after I graduated.
And if I can't make it in person, I take my classes online.
When a child is sick, there's one thing they need: a really big cookie.
Welcome to RMHC.
We're not big on poking sticks and beeping machines, but we're the best at playing dress up. We think the Tooth Fairy should travel everywhere, and while hospitals have doctors and nurses, we have mom and dad. Because at Ronald McDonald House Charities, we help families feel at home, even when they can't be.
Where I come from, they call firefighters the bravest. My dad was one. We lost him 3 years ago. First Responders Children's Foundation gave me a scholarship so that I can become a nurse and help people just like my dad did.
Help us help them.
Welcome back. We have some news and announcements as we wrap up today. Over $1 million in scholarships are available from the HCC Foundation, so students should not miss their chance to apply for the 2025-2026 academic year. Applications open Sunday, June 15th. Check our show after the post for more info, but get those applications in. Who doesn't want free money?
No, I know. I think anybody would. So yeah, we also have a Fit Feud coming up, the Wellness Game Show. HCC Southeast and Student Life and Rec Sports will host a game show where teams compete in fast-paced rounds of fitness and wellness trivia. Mental wellness and self-care topics will also be included with prizes for the winners. That is going to be 1 to 2 p.m. on Monday, June 16th at HCC Eastside Student Life and Media Center.
And everyone at HCC can celebrate Juneteenth with a free documentary viewing presented by KHOU 11 News called Juneteenth, 1865 to 2025, Kinfolk and Family. That's Wednesday, 12:30, June 18th at HCC Central San Jacinto Auditorium. A brief Q&A with series creators Mia Gadney and Len Cannon will immediately follow the screening. Check our post after the show for more info.
Yeah, and also check out Pep Time deadline late June. The year-end review process for 2024 and 2025 must have PEP documents acknowledged by June. For additional info, visit MyHCC for step-by-step instructions, or you can contact your talent relations senior partner. The deadline is June 30th.
It's the least favorite time of year for me, PEP time, but that's okay. Just a reminder that HCC will commemorate the 160th anniversary of Juneteenth, also known as Freedom Day, next week. So no Up to the Minute will air on Juneteenth. We'll be back to a regular scheduled show after the holiday.
Yeah, and finally, the fall registration has opened up. It is time to be thinking about fall classes, or you still have time to take summer courses to help yourself stay on track. HCC classes are still offered in a variety of programs, semester lengths, and a range of modalities, including online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid, which means both face-to-face and partially virtually, and an in-person option and a hybrid lab. To learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, go to hccs.edu/apply.
Coming up next week, HCC's own Grammy winner, Nate Robinson of the music faculty, will be here for Music Monday. And it's also Mental Health Monday, so our monthly guest from Bridge Over Troubled Waters returns to offer wellness advice. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time here on HCC Up to the Minute.